It's another Friday night. Welcome to the Scleroderma Foundation Sclero-Sun podcast. Sorry, I can't hear myself, so I'm just gonna take my headphones off until the ladies come in. So today's show is gonna be great. We're gonna be bringing a couple of our support group members or support group leaders here from all the way from San Diego, California, because we're from California, and we'll be talking about their lives and how they got involved with the Scleroderma Foundation. And not everybody can take the what do you call that, the platform of being a support group leader, and to take that lead and to be able to gather people and help a lot of our patients. So we're going to be talking to them, but first we do have some announcements. Of course, we do have the Bark for a Cure that's ongoing right now. It's our Halloween costume contest for pets. I think we hit our $3,000 mark for our $10,000 goal, so we're doing really well. So please submit your pet's photos or donate. It's only $25 to submit, and you'll have a chance to be part of the 2021 Bark for a Cure official Scleroderma Foundation Southern California calendar, which is great. And you'll also be featured in our podcast, in our magazine, in our newsletters. So there's going to be a lot of popularity. What do you call that thing when you're the bragging rights? That's what it is. So you're going to be bragging rights to be the pet that wins. And if you're looking through our Facebook stream, you saw that some people are trying to enter themselves. And Dr. First, not allowed. We love your kitty picture, but no humans allowed. And we understand, yes, you're Elaine's pet, and we'll keep it at that. So Bark for a Cure, it's scleroderma.org/bark for a cure, and donate or enter. And we also have masks available right now, and it's at scleroderma.org/SoCalMasks. I think we only have about 30 something left, so please try to purchase as soon as possible and help support. And if you don't want to pay for shipping, if you register or have a proof of registration to be part of our Ralph's community rewards program, where you can we're part of let's see, how does it work? You enter your phone number, and then part of your purchase goes to the foundation. You don't lose any points. You still have the same savings if you're a Ralph's Reward member. If you have proof, you just email it to the email that's on the Bark for a Cure website, and we'll give you a coupon code so you can get your masks shipped for free. That's like $3 savings. A lot of things happening as well too. So we have a ton of events, even though we're not meeting in person. We have support group meetings happening as well too. Please go to our website, which is let's see, where's our website? I gotta pull it up here. Is it here? No, it's not here. There we go. Scleroderma.org/SoCal. You can find all the support groups there as well too. There's definitely one local to you. We go all the way up to Central Coast down to San Diego. But since we're all virtual, anybody from around the world can actually join us. So feel free to register and join any of our support groups as well too, and meet other patients. I think the wealth of support comes from people who understand what you're going through. Let's see, what else do we have? All right, so stay tuned. We have a lot of things coming up. Our first live event is being booked as we speak, which is our Vertical Cure in March. So that's hopefully, we're crossing our fingers that people can ski without having to socially distance, and it's a great fundraiser. But working our way back, come around holiday times, we have a holiday virtual celebration at the end of the year. We'll be honoring a few people. We have a bunch of people performing as well too. So it's going to be, we're going to try to keep it under wraps and make it a surprise, but it's definitely going to be worth watching. I just made a new word. Worth watching is watching. So please check out the website. It's always there. Our Facebook is always up and running. You can follow us on Instagram at Scleroderma SoCal. You can follow us on Twitter at Sclero-SoCal. And message us if you guys have any questions. Comment right now if you want to ask any questions for us to answer while we're on air. because we do this live for a reason, so we can interact, even though we put up on our official podcast site on anchor.fm, but you can also listen to us on Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So we're on every single major podcast platform, which is a great deal because we're also spreading awareness for scleroderma. There's also our gala fund that's also coming up. So we still have a lot of things going on. Even our virtual walk, we're leaving it open until the end of November to be able to raise money for your teams. And we will be announcing all the team winners in our holiday special, in our holiday virtual celebration. So that's another reason to go watch that at the end of the year. And it's also a perfect way to fundraise, because we need to be able to support our patients. And one way we support our patients is with support groups. So I'm going to bring in a couple of ladies right now who have been support group leaders for even longer than I've been around with the foundation. And they've been great. And every time I go to San Diego, every time we're doing an event in San Diego, they always step up and ask how they can help. So I'm going to bring them in right now. Let me see if I can bring them in. Susan Kelly. This is Susan Okuno from San Diego. She runs the Mission Valley support group, and Kelly Clemeshaw, who from San Diego also, who runs the Encinitas support group. How are you ladies doing?
Great.
Wonderful. Thanks.
I'm just making sure I can hear you, because I can't.
Oh, okay.
I hear a delay of myself, so it gets really annoying. All right. So we are excited to have you guys here, our support group leaders. I know how it's been definitely different for all of us in the foundation, especially running our support groups over Zoom. And we've been trying our best. I know there's no moments of hugging. There's no moments of really, looking into people's eyes and being able to, help them out, support them. But, I just wanted to bring you guys in, first of all, to thank you for still being with us, still helping us out in our support groups, because we definitely need that with a foundation. And you are there to help us pivot and help us do that. I remember our first 2 weeks, we spent 1 week trying to figure out what we're going to do, and then the next week training you guys how to use Zoom and being on there. And yeah, but you guys learned well, and I think the support groups are working, and it's really important. So I'm going to be asking a few questions to get to know you guys a few more. Is that okay?
Yeah, great.
Yeah. All right.
Go with Kelly first.
Go with Kelly first. She called you out. All right. This podcast, as much as we like to take our time, the Lakers are playing in their hopefully last game, so I want to get to watch that. All right. So, of course, the first question is, when did you become a support group leader? I believe Kelly's going first.
All right. Well, maybe you can help me, Susan. I think we've been doing this together for 5 or 6 years. When the previous leader moved out of state. So I think it was around 2015, maybe. That's 2000.
Correct.
Okay. She's my fact checker.
She's my fact checker. So you guys went on at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I see. I didn't know that.
What happened was the leader for the Encinitas group left, and so we co-facilitated that group. And then a few years later, the leader for the Mission Valley group moved out of state, and so we split up, and I took the Mission Valley group, and Kelly took the Encinitas group.
Well, that's great.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
But you guys are covering more ground, which is great, because I know San Diego is a pretty big county, and
it is.
Yeah, I know from Kelly to Susan's, it's quite a drive. All right, so why did you become a support group leader? This one goes to Susan first, because Kelly took the first shot.
Well, I've been involved with this support group in San Diego since its inception, which was probably 2009. I'm a social worker by profession, and I always believed in support groups. And so I was, Kelly and I were involved from the beginning. And so when the leader position, kind of opened up, it was sort of a natural, natural step in for me. But I really believe in the whole concept and how much it's helped me. So that's why. Yeah.
That's awesome. What about you, Kelly?
Yeah,
Why
I
did you
echo that as well. I was in social work and education, but I've always had a helping, attitude, and I just thought I'm coming to all the meetings, and I really like the people, and it was a natural fit. So yeah, I just wanted to help out.
That's good. I think it just works out, that, especially coming from social working background, you kind of know the process of helping people out. But how has being a support group leader helped you, Kelly?
All right. Well, it's given me something tangible to do. I think even as a patient, you can empathize with other patients and members, but there isn't always a lot you can do for others. So this was a way to show my appreciation for the larger group, and I kind of like to play hostess, and originally I thought, I can set up the meeting and bring snacks and materials, and when it came time to come up with speakers and be a little bit more involved, it was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but the foundation has helped a lot with that, and a lot of the members bring ideas for speakers or areas that they want more information or help with. So it's really kind of a group effort. I still consider myself just the host, provide the space, but really everyone leads the meeting, and it's a real group effort and a real family feeling.
So I mean, that's what I miss about support group meetings, the snacks.
Yeah.
I'd go to San Diego just for the snacks.
Yeah, there you go.
No, well, last year our plan was to go to every single group, and I got to do that. Well, except for Inland Empire, so I missed one. But it's amazing just meeting everybody and matching the names with the face, because every time I do a walk, I see the rosters, I see the teams, and be able to just hear the stories all the time. So it's great. So, Susan, how has being a leader helped you?
Well, I'm going to talk from more of a patient perspective. I have to say that it's helped me because, as we all know, scleroderma is an ugly, complicated, difficult, crazy illness. And wow, it surprises me every day. And until you go to a group, nobody knows what you're talking about, or nobody can understand you. And so it's helped me so much, because even as a leader, it doesn't matter. Like Kelly said, we're all leaders. And I go in there, and people will say, I have this issue, and the doctors say that, I've never heard of that. But you go to support group and you go, well, I have this issue, and everyone chimes in, that I have that issue too, or I have that issue too. And it's amazing how much as patients we can share that the doctors, they don't even get it. They can't, they don't know all the weird stuff that goes on with us. And so just that support of feeling like I could go to a place and kind of get my weird questions answered and feel normal, it's it's really helped me, and it's actually helped me because I've learned things from other people who tell me that, like, I was taking a medication, I was taking it wrong, and the doctor who prescribed it, they never sit down with you for half an hour until you have to take it. And so I was taking it, and it wasn't until I was in a support group that I thought, oh, you're supposed to take it like an hour before you eat or 2 hours after you eat. And I just didn't really sit there and unfold the little pamphlet and read it. And so things like that were really important, I learned. And there's other things that we've learned in the group, that hints and things that people have experienced that the doctors may not have, well, obviously they haven't experienced, that have kind of helped me as a leader, but really as a patient. So I think the groups are invaluable.
Definitely. I mean, when they attach those little road maps on the bottles, those go out.
Exactly.
And even if you can unfold them, it's hard to read them. Seriously. It's 0.5 point, and it's just
right.
Exactly. So definitely, my wife has scleroderma, and I think a lot of our experience does come from talking to other patients and hearing about how they're going through their issues as well too. Because as much as it's all different for everybody, there's so many similarities as well too, because it is one yucky disease. All right, so here's the one. What are some of the challenges of being a support group leader? So we'll go with Susan.
Well, Kelly sort of mentioned it, and I'll have to agree with her. I think I worry I'm not doing enough. I worry that the meetings aren't interesting, that people aren't coming, I'm not getting good enough speakers. Oh, they don't like my snacks. Well, actually, I don't really worry about that so much, but it's like you feel like kind of responsible for providing this forum, and you want it to be helpful. And obviously it's not for everybody, and it's not going to help everyone. Like, they may come for a while and then leave and then come back again. But yeah, that's a challenge. Kelly and I will sit there and think, what are we missing, or what kind of speaker will they want, or that's kind of the biggest challenge.
So Kelly?
Yeah, I agree as well. But in addition to that, I think through the years, and I know Susan would agree, it's the friends that we've lost, and I don't want to dwell on the negative, but you go out there and you're vulnerable to others, and you really become close. And like I said, we're a family, and to follow people with their struggles, and but then every year we lose a few friends, and I was just reflecting today as I was getting ready for this of some of the great people that we missed. So that's a challenge, but I think it also emboldens us to keep going, and we know that, it helps me personally so much that we hope that we've made a difference for them and for their families.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Where we get so close to a lot of our patients, and they become our friends. They're the ones that are first to comment on your Facebook page if you say anything about scleroderma, so they'll show up. And we've definitely lost my 8 years within the foundation, just either volunteering or actually working. It's been brutal, and you do carry that weight. And a lot of people will tell you, you have your professional life and you have your personal life, but I think for all of us involved, this is all personal, right? Great. And Helene says, this is from Helene on Facebook, so glad I passed the torch on to you too. You're doing a fabulous job, and I miss you. I miss Helene too. She's so awesome. She's a little firecracker. You hear that, Helene? We gotta visit you in Vegas. All right, moving on. So, what does it take to be a great support group leader? I know there's some people out there that think they can do a job, right? So, what does it take? Let's go with Kelly.
All right. Well, in addition to some good snacks here and there, by the way, I have to tell a story on Leslie. From our group, because I made some homemade gluten-free muffins, but then I used some horrible oil in it. So she's helping me up my game with getting some healthier cooking oil in my muffins. Maybe I'll use butter. Anyway, I think it's being a good listener and yeah, just being open to what the group has to offer. And you know, Susan and I have been so blessed with great members. There hasn't been a lot of drama or anything, but you know, maybe managing different personality types and making sure everyone gets a chance to talk. But honestly, that's really hasn't been an issue in our group, thankfully. And one other thing is just to be a good leader is to walk in other people's shoes. Yes, there are a lot of commonalities with scleroderma, but being such a designer disease, we all experience it a little bit differently. So, you know, someone may have more lung involvement than I have, or I may deal with depression and anxiety more than someone else. But just being open to each other's experiences and listening and supporting.
What about you, Susan? What do you think it takes to be a great support group leader?
I think I think just trying to get everybody a chance to talk. I think it's more if someone is really quiet, just giving them that forum to say, oh, you know, just like, how are you doing? Also, Kelly and I like to keep things light, but also, I mean, we have a chance to be serious, but we also have a chance to have fun. And so I'll share this fun story. We were on a Zoom meeting, and our support group it's become like almost like a family, and we shared some really difficult things, but then in the middle or later on, we had a chance to laugh together. Somebody said, oh yeah, I ordered online from Walmart some sardines, and they sent a case of sardines, and it's just me, and I can't eat a case of sardines. So everyone started joking about, oh, the next party, we're going to have sardines. And Kelly and I had gotten a bottle of wine for winning the virtual walk scavenger hunt. And so we were going to have wine and just kind of that lightness for people to tease each other and talk and laugh, just sort of brought the group together. But after like having a difficult time of some serious issues too. So I think just kind of mixing it up and keeping it moving and realizing that everyone's kind of like a family.
It's that balancing act that you have to do, right?
Yeah, it is.
I think you definitely have to feel the crowd as well too. Mm-hmm. Unless you just want to crack jokes and make everybody happy. That's my job. All right. Oh, yeah. This is an easy one. What do you like about being a support group leader? Let's go with Susan.
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
What do you like about it?
I like meeting amazing people. Really, the people that are in our group are fantastic. I really enjoy them. Everyone's different, but I've really enjoyed meeting people, and they are lifting me up, and I get a chance to lift them up, like we can help each other. And I also like, we get to meet newly diagnosed people, and we get those referrals. And I remember being newly diagnosed and just crying my heart out. And being able to call that person and even to meet them for a cup of coffee, that's really rewarding. It's really it's rewarding for me, for them to get kind of the meeting somebody that has scleroderma, but I think it's just as rewarding for me. Yeah.
What about you, Kelly? What do you like about being a leader?
I love seeing the growth that people go through, and Susan said she experienced it, and I definitely experienced it back almost 29 years ago. But I'll use Norma as an example, and when she came in, and just that deer in the headlights look, and a lot of fear and the unknown, and but she came in and had her journal and was taking notes about everything we said, and she would go home and research and talk to her doctors and just take everything in, and then it seemed like maybe a few meetings when another newly diagnosed person came in, and then Norma was there to comfort this person, and she was talking about ANA and all the acronyms, and just a real source of information and comfort. And so, I think back, like I remember when they first joined us, and what a journey they've been on and come through, and that's very exciting. And I love seeing the connections between people, whether it's in a meeting or outside a meeting, and just those deeper friendships. And then, like we said before, laughter, it really is the best medicine. And we have some of the best laughing times in the group, and crying. So those are my favorite parts.
That's awesome. You're getting me off a clap here. I need some coffee. All right. So we can't hide the fact we're in the COVID season. I'm going to call it season because it will end. All right. Yes. I want to get back out there. So how were your meetings like before COVID and then after COVID? So I'll let any of you guys step up to do that one. Okay,
well,
Kelly.
Kelly.
No, Susan, you started.
Okay. Well, obviously before COVID, it was like a regular support group, and you do have that ability to feel somebody, and for more tears and more sharing, and you lose that with the Zoom meetings. I mean, you can't help it. You lose that. But I think it's changed. But it's also nice for people to be able to connect without, if they don't feel well, to be able to connect without leaving their home, because it's a long drive usually for people, and it is easier. So more people can kind of connect on Zoom rather than make the effort to drive somewhere and go to a support group.
Kelly?
Yeah, there are some benefits to the Zoom. I know we all miss being in person. Yeah, I just can't wait to be back in person.
That's true. But now you're going to... Now you're going to be forward. Yeah, you bring a computer and Zoom in people.
Exactly, and really make it more accessible to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. All right, so yeah, after we're all Zoomed, I should have invested in that company a while back. So how has the foundation helped in supporting the support groups, Kelly?
Well, especially in the last few years, different training opportunities. You guys, the foundation, did a great job of sending out a survey and really getting not just leaders, but patients and members input, and really synthesizing that and getting it back to us and putting it into practice. I had never seen anything like that before. That was really cool. In addition to training, a lot of appreciation, which isn't necessary, but it's welcomed. And I know Susan and Helene and I, we all piled in my minivan and went up to Marina Del Rey a few years ago and had lunch, got to meet board members and other support group leaders from here to Santa Barbara. And that was really cool to meet everyone, and not just, the names that we see on emails. And it really meant a lot. And so that was special. And then a little help with things like ideas for speakers, or information about webinars and different things, especially now with COVID, maybe far away support groups or online educational opportunities that we wouldn't have had access to otherwise. So that's been really helpful.
Susan, you want to chime in?
I have to say Kelly did a great job answering that. The only thing I would add is that Tina has worked really hard on finding the speakers for the other Zoom meetings now that people are so used to Zoom, I think it's actually our members are actually using that and able to access speakers from LA or webinars from all over the place. And those announcements are going out constantly. And I think that's been great support from the foundation for them to do that.
Yeah, we our workload has not gone down. Just because everybody's staying home. Yeah, I'm used to working at home mostly because my office is 35 miles away, and now everybody's working from home, so we're all working like 3 times more. I mean, wow. I have to show up to support group meetings, so that adds a 6th day to my 5-day week, or doing the podcast, which is, there goes my Friday night every other week. But it's our way of making sure that we're taking care of our patients. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. That's the first thing you see on our mission, is the support. And we definitely want to provide that, and don't want to stop doing that. Great. I think we've already done a lot, but the last question is, give us an example of how a support group can help a patient. So let's go with Susan first.
Probably the most interesting experience I had was a Spanish-speaking woman who felt very isolated, and because of the language barrier. And I just kind of gathered up a group of some of my support group members who were Spanish-speaking. We met at a coffee shop. This was a couple years ago, and it was just so nice for her to feel not only welcome, but because of the language barrier, she wasn't able to access a lot of other information or go to a regular support group meeting. And so that was really rewarding, and people really stepped up. People in my group that, like Lydia, became really involved. Some other group members, one's wife, Juan and Martha, and people came and really helped out. It was great.
That's awesome. But you, Kelly?
I always like to use the example of June in our group. I know, I'm a huge fan of hers. Anyone I've met with scleroderma, she outwardly appears to be the most affected physically, and but I tell you, she comes to almost every meeting, and she's just such an inspiration, and her attitude is so positive, and she has all these stories, I kid you not, of all the places around the world that she travels still every year. I'm so blessed. She sends me her like holiday card, and it makes me tired just thinking of all the places they've been just in the year. And I'm a little bit jealous. I would like to do as much travel as she does, but and I think, wow, if June can do it, we can all push ourselves and out of our comfort zone, or and even if I'm a little sluggish on a Saturday morning and think, oh, I got to get to the meeting, and I'm like, well, I know June's going to be there, and gosh darn it, I can be there too. So I hope that, and I'm sure that other members are inspired by her example. I think she's had it about 40 years, and I think about 15 years ago, a doctor told her that, go home and kind of get your things in order. There's nothing more we can do for you. But here, like 15 years later, she is going strong and not slowing down.
I always come back to this, especially with scleroderma. I mean, it affects everybody, but 85% are women. And I've met some of the strongest women through the foundation, and a lot of you guys are just can run circles around me. I can't complain as much as I do. I can't complain anymore because you guys are just so inspiring. Every time there's an event coming up, I'd be up till 1 a.m, and then I'd never question why am I still doing this. It's because I get to meet you guys. I get to be inspired by, even Glory, right? She's one of the strong. She can knock you down even if she's sitting down in her wheelchair. I mean, that's how powerful you women are. My wife included, of course. And and as a patient, I think they've always said that, scleroderma, you women are so strong it takes your own body to beat you down, kind of thing, right? But I think you've been strong from the beginning. The scleroderma is just another issue that you're facing, and you guys are just rocking it. And I'm always inspired when I talk to you guys. All right, the last question. So, you have any special words for the foundation? No?
You guys are great. Emmanuel is amazing. You're so smart and talented, and doing these podcasts and always doing I don't know how you do it. It's great. All that support. Tina's great. Andrew, everyone's so friendly. Manon, she's new, but she's super friendly, and we feel so supported and feel so lucky to have you guys backing us up.
We appreciate, we just love working for you guys. It's so awesome.
When I was thinking of this question, I thought, wow, that's my word for the foundation. And thank you. And way to go virtual. I especially liked it when Andrew drove all over the county delivering the prizes that people won, and the wine was yummy. Thank you. I was gonna save it for when the group met again in person, but
it didn't last.
And Tina is the number one cheerleader for leaders and patients, and she's such a strong advocate, and I don't know where she gets all of her energy. And Emmanuel, you're just like the online dynamo wizard. It's awesome. And I like how you're so personable and very professional, but you can do things off the cuff. And I've had a lot of fun watching, all the events that you're running. And then Manon, we haven't met in person yet, but I like your style and your energy.
Oh, she's awesome. I mean,
cool.
we put her in charge of social media for the Bark for the Cure. She's killing it. Speaking of Bark for the Cure, before we go, we got put up a picture here. So Bark for the Cure is our costume contest for pets, and one of my favorite ones here, Notorious Sasha.
Yeah.
Yay! That's Susan's pup right there. In her wonderful RBG doily. We still call that doily. The lace. Oh, she is brilliant. And she's at 176 votes, so you gotta get some more votes in there.
I know. Gotta work at that.
I know you're competing with some major competition, even including a goat. And I hear a monkey's gonna be joining soon too. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I guess nobody took it seriously when it said domesticated animals only, but I guess that counts as well too. All right, so we have about a couple minutes left, so we're gonna do a couple questions from my Podex. These are random questions. They're usually what do you call that? Well, they make you think. All right, so the first question is. Nope. No, we're not going to do that. It was negative. No, negative. Ooh. All right, for both of you, let's start with Kelly. What would be your best day ever?
Oh, okay. That's easy. I would get up before the sun and go on an awesome hike for most of the day. And I wouldn't be too winded at the top. But it would be with friends or family, or maybe alone too. I like to hike alone. And it would involve maybe some sushi afterwards.
Now you got me craving. I haven't had dinner yet. Let's get that Postmates going. Susan, what would be your best day ever?
My best day ever, I would be in Mexico, and I'd be probably walking around looking at the sights, and then I'd get really tired in the afternoon, and I'd be in the Zocalo, I'd be in the main center square, and I'd get this huge ice cream cone, huge. And I'd sit there and eat my ice cream and watch people walk by. That'd be the best day ever.
So is that what they call margaritas now in Mexico? Ice cream? Oh, to travel again too. I miss traveling. I had 12 flights booked for 2020.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I was so excited. When we started the year going to the Philippines, and I was like, I could do a travel blog if I'm going to go to Chicago. Yeah. I'm actually going to Nashville next year to speak. Hopefully it's going to be on barbecue. It's weird. Cool. The opportunities that we get now. This has been so awesome.
It's been fun.
I miss just talking to you guys. It's I can't.
I know.
You can't do it in support group meetings mostly. It's like you have 30 people involved. So this is great. Any shout outs? Anybody you want to greet?
Thank you, Helene and Lori Hansley, who is now in Portland, hopefully safe, for starting, and Brian for kind of starting this whole support group thing. I just want to make sure I get their names out.
And Kelly?
I want to give a shout out to my best friend Anne Marie and her family, and I'm getting some text messages that they're watching from Salem, Oregon. So
awesome.
Wow, really? That's cool.
All 7 of them right now. The cool thing is when we do this on Facebook, everybody gets to watch it over and over. And then if you're having any audio issues, because it happens when you're doing something live, I'm gonna re-upload it all fixed and beautiful and wonderful. And of course, exactly, I'll put some filters on. We were playing with Zoom filters earlier, by the way. If you haven't upgraded to Zoom with Zoom filters, do it. Use the unicorn one. It's awesome. But I imagine our next support group meetings over Zoom. It's going to be all filters. It'll be hilarious. Yeah, I actually did a music video for some friends of mine where it's just literally them with filters. and it was wonderful. It was so great.
Really?
I'll share.
That was amazing. Did you play that at the
Yeah, that was
virtual walk, right?
we premiered it at the
Oh,
walk
right, I
with the
saw
Mama
that.
Bears. Yeah,
That was
So
cool.
that's
They were
getting
cool.
thousands
they
of
were
views.
nice. Yeah.
yeah. I think we should all just filter everything. It'd be more fun.
Definitely.
Again, thank you guys so much for joining. Big shout out to some of our watchers. I know Helene's watching. Brittany is watching. Hi, Brittany. She says she's gonna win. Bark for a Cure. Oh yeah, she wants to beat that goat down. I mean, not I mean, beat him on the photo contest. She wants that front page January photo for 2021. By the way, you can also pre-order the calendar. So if you're looking at if you want a nice pets and costumes calendar, it'll be the official Scleroderma Foundation Southern California calendar. And let's see, we have Ginny Tom. I think she's a new patient as well too, and first time watching. Hello. She also joined the Facebook page, which has been growing as well too. Big special thanks to Manon, who's a millennial and no social media. You can't ask for any more than that, and we appreciate everybody. So on behalf of the staff and the Scleroderma Foundation, thank you. And please visit us online. Find us on Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, as well as listen to us on podcasts. Just search for the Sclero-Sun podcast. Thank you, and good night.
Go Lakers.
Go Lakers.